Week 10 across the NFL was filled with loads of chaos, and we are covering it all here today on Locked On NFL Scouting.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins, and we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you're going to get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app.
Joe, happy Victory Tuesday to those who are celebrating.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
We should probably address the elephant in the room. We did not record yesterday because of the outcome of Sunday's game.
I was too sad. I couldn't even look at you, and
there has been one show in the history of you and I doing the program together where I have felt like that going into it. And it was like all business in and out. No, we had technical difficulties yesterday. We're doing the exact same show today that we recorded for 33 minutes and 46 seconds yesterday, that we had a great banger of a show all lined up and ready to roll. And we did some troubleshooting on the recording software, and we feel good about our chances on having a product that we could actually, we couldn't even use the audio.
No, it wasn't usable.
Scandal. That's how bad it was.
What's frustrating is we've done literally thousands of episodes, and then it's like, you take for granted that, probably if we've done 3,000 episodes, 2,995 have been fine.
Yeah.
And it's the ones that you just you can't use them. And boy, it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Especially a Monday, right? It's such a crazy day to detox everything that happened and do the film work. And we've each got our own other obligations, and we both have kids. And it's just like,
kids. You
texted me and you were like, yo, we can't use this at all. And I checked and I was like, you're right, but I'm pretty slammed. What do we want to do? We're just going to go tomorrow. We're just going to do it tomorrow.
All right.
You will get 5 episodes of Locked On NFL Scouting this week as a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network in all the land. You will get 5 this week, but you had to wait till Tuesday to get the Monday debrief.
Well, what people are going to miss out from the original reaction show is that I started talking about the wrong game first. So we can use this opportunity to talk about the game we intended to talk about first, which is the 8-2 New England Patriots beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with explosive plays, right? Travion Henderson, a couple of big runs, a big throw to Kyle Williams, a big throw to Mac Hollins, overcoming the late red zone interception by Drake May for the Patriots to stack yet another win. It's 7 in a row.
Yes.
8 out of 9, and get a good win over a good Bucs team on the road with a Bucs team that's coming off of their bye.
Never wrong, just early. Shout out Travion Henderson for all the love that was had for him. Finally, we get to see it unleashed in a way that I love the wherewithal on that breakaway run at the end of the game to kind of look back at the sideline and say, should I go? Should I go down? Did I score? He scores a long touchdown run. It's just a team that's really rolling in all phases right now. And I think the conversation from New England is no longer, are they back? Because this is a quality win, right? They now have
another good
quality wins on the road.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of soft games on the schedule, but they've also now logged 2 quality wins against good teams in Buffalo and in Tampa Bay. You look at the rest of the schedule, their next 3 games, you feel like they should win all of them. So the conversation for me is not, hey, are the Patriots back? The conversation is, how high of a seeding could the Patriots end up getting when this is all said and done?
It's huge, Kyle, and I think they've got a really great shot to win the division, courtesy of the Dolphins' win over the Bills. Even if the Bills beat New England in their head-to-head matchup in Foxborough in a few weeks, the Bills will either have to have an outright better record than New England, because assuming the Patriots don't have their own hiccup against the Dolphins or Jets, the divisional record is going to be tied.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be better. They're going to have an outright divisional record because the Bills have 2 division losses.
Yeah.
So the Bills' path to the East is very, very difficult. They need the Patriots to slip up, and they've had some late game moments that they've overcome in their recent wins over the Falcons and Bucks. And yeah, the Jets, Bengals, Giants before the Bills. It's maybe for New England.
Maybe the Joe Burrow led Bengals.
Yeah.
Who knows? How about that yesterday, huh? We didn't get that one on our bingo card when we recorded games yesterday. But Joe Burrow back at practice,
targeting Thanksgiving against the Ravens, and that would be a stretch for them. Is Ravens, Bills, Ravens? I think is like their 3 games in a row. That would be the ones with Joe Burrow. So the North, I don't think they have a shot at a wild card. It'd be tough to see that, but the AFC North is going to get interesting. But shall we go into the Dolphins here? Smoking the Bills, man.
Finish the AFC East.
Finish the AFC East as we're talking about the Patriots, kind of their path to winning this thing.
We'll do Dolphins, Bills, and then we'll do Jets with yet another banger of a passing game performance. We'll talk about those two on this side of the break. But it was for Miami. The irony that I talked about in my own show after the fact with the squad show that we had was in talking to you on Thursday. I said, don't call the game trying to score 30 points. Because that's where your issues compound, and Buffalo is as good as any team in the league in capitalizing on mistakes, or at least they have been against Miami for the last 10 years since Sean McDermott's got there. And they called 32 runs. They've got 197 rushing yards against Buffalo. There's obviously 2 late fourth quarter explosive runs that are a big piece of that puzzle. Shout out Jordan Poyer, biting at people's ankles in the hole, trying to get guys down to the ground. And the one time you don't try to frantically push the gas pedal down to score points is the game in which your defense plays well. You don't set Buffalo up on any short fields or have roughing the punters to extend drives.
Mm-hmm.
And then you methodically see those short runs turn into long runs at the end of the game.
Yeah, the Bills made the mistakes the Dolphins normally make in these head-to-head matchups, and the mistakes that the Dolphins made didn't matter because they were 2 really good arm punts from Tua. They were kind of inconsequential.
Leading the league in net yards per punt to a time below is right now.
Doing a nice job. Very nice. Yeah, the Bills were the team that made the back-breaking mistakes in this one. Their 3 best chances to score, obviously they scored on, was it like a 35-yard completion to Keon Coleman on like the 8th-string corner for the Dolphins. But their 3 legitimate best scoring opportunities, Josh Allen fumbled, James Cook fumbled, and Josh Allen threw a red zone interception. So for as bad as the Bills overall played, they were the team that made the mistakes. Their defense, I thought the Bills defense kind of kept them in it. They were put in some very difficult spots. Hell, the Bills didn't score until 12 something left in the fourth quarter. Go 0 for 7 on possession downs in the first half. Like you're just not going to win like that.
They had a chance to make it a 1-score game if Minkah Fitzpatrick doesn't tackle Khalil Shakir, kind of hog tie and drive him down to stop his momentum from getting it.
But big picture, I think you come away with questions about the Bills. Their passing game continues to look very unsettled. That would be 3 out of 4 weeks where there's issues across the board with receivers being open, Josh Allen turndowns, Josh Allen taking bad sacks, battling clean pockets. Like 3 out of 4 weeks, you've had a rough passing offense. Kansas City, obviously, it looked great. They got it together for that game, but obviously coming off of that, they had the emotional letdown. And then defensively, do they have what it takes to defend the run in games where they're not controlling game scripts? I think it's a major concern. So that would be the big picture for Buffalo. And for Miami, I mean, I know you probably have some thoughts on the big picture there.
Yeah, it's you got a couple games coming up. This is the kind of narrative shifting win that I think Mike McDaniel needed to cool down all of the buzz about, hey, Chris Greer's gone, when's Mike next, right?
Yeah.
The second win since you've been in Miami in 2022 against Buffalo. If you play. You got 3 games that are perceived as winnable. They're 3 games against teams that have 3 wins or less, just like you do. Washington this week will be without Deron Payne, who's suspended. It'll be without Terry McLaurin. It'll be without Jaden Daniels. Like, you win that game, you beat the Saints out of the bye, you beat the Jets. You get another narrative shifting opportunity if you're the Dolphins to go up to Pittsburgh in primetime on Monday night and play in the cold and a night game in primetime against a well-coached team, even if they have their own concerns. And we'll talk about the Steelers here in just a little bit. But I think Mike needs this was a narrative shifting win. I think he needs another one to really help stabilize some of the concerns around his job security. But this is a good first step for him. And it was a quality win because it was everything that usually Mike falls into the traps against this team with, they did not do.
All right, we'll get some more quality wins on the other side of it, including the big comeback from the Texans. Folks, be sure to stick with us.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends over there at Peloton. Look, folks, it's time to break through the busiest time of the year with a brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus that's powered by Peloton IQ. It's Peloton's most elevated technology and equipment yet that gives you real-time guidance, and it gives you endless ways to move, whether you want to work out by yourself or if you want to work out with your favorite instructor, like my personal favorite, Alex Toussaint. He always gets me fired up to tackle the day. And the thing I like about Peloton, it helps me achieve more in less times. They have features that help you plan, stay motivated, track your progress, and Peloton IQ also provides personalized workout plans and recommendations. That's something that I use right now during the busiest time of the year covering the NFL. They plan my workouts for me based on my mood, my vibe, and also my favorite instructors. So make sure you check it out and use it because it also helps you correct your form in real time, and it maximizes your reps. It counts your reps so that you can do it smarter, safer, and more efficient. Let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
If you're a business owner, here's the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier, but now the average company is buried by hundreds of apps that slow down your teams and simply don't work together. That's not SaaS. That's SAD, software as a disservice, and that's why you need Rippling. Rippling is a unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance all in one place. They've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system designed to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. By uniting your employees, teams, and departments in one system, Rippling removes the bottlenecks, busy work, and silos that your software has created. Everything from onboarding to payroll to IT access runs automatically and perfectly in sync. It's seriously simple to use and gives companies one source of truth for their people, data, and everything they touch. And right now, you can get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNFL. Learn more at rippling.com/LockedOnNFL. That's rippling.com/LockedOnNFL for 6 months free. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you for making Locked On NFL Scouting your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network where it is your team every day.
It's twice. We've tried this show twice, and both times out of the first break, I forgot that you were going to thank everybody for making Locked On the #1.
I'm just trying to do my job, man. You know,
well,
I'll make Ross Jackson happy today.
Yeah. We had committed to finishing the AFC East, so I would like to finish briefly, as quickly as we can make this. The Jets, with their third offensive performance this year, in which they failed to surpass 55 net passing yards in 9 games. That's 1/3 of their games. Draft dudes do math. They're less than 55 net passing yards. The Jets beat the Browns 27-20 on the backs of one completed pass to Breece Hall for 41 yards.
Has a team ever won a game where they had less than 50 net yards passing and no takeaways? Has it ever happened?
Well, it helps to have 2 return touchdowns in the same quarter.
but seriously, it's kind of crazy, right?
I'm sure it has. But yeah, man, just an all-out odyssey of a game for Fields to be named the starter, and Aaron Glenn does the thing every single week on our guys know who the starter is going to be, and you guys will find out when it's time for you to find out. He had 54 passing yards on 6 completions in the game. 42 of them go to Breece Hall on 1 completion for a touchdown.
The other 5 completions were for less than 4 yards.
Nobody on the Jets caught more than 1 pass.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So fair to have some questions and concerns there, especially because if you're going to play Fields, let's get more than 7 runs in, right? Like that's the appeal.
Yeah.
But they in the first quarter, Jets have a 99-yard kickoff return, and then 40 seconds later of game clock, they return a punt for a touchdown, 74 yards. So that's how you win a game with less than 50 net passing yards offensively. Shout out to the Jets.
How about Davis Mills? The Texans, they come from behind. They score.
I'm still not over it.
I got them both this week, huh? We're closing the gap.
Was robbed.
26 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Come back and win this game. And I just want to give Davis Mills some credit because this is a paid backup quarterback and a lot of controversy on, paying backup quarterbacks, but they signed him to a 1-year, $5 million deal. Then they signed him to a 1-year, $7 million deal. And this is exactly why the Texans did it, right? Is because he can come in and do things like this, where this game started ugly for this team. They came out with an interception on the opening drive, then they fumbled, then they punt twice. They're in a hole. All for them to come back in the fourth quarter where Davis Mills throws 2 fourth-quarter touchdown passes and has the game-winning touchdown run late in the game. I mean, obviously some concerns for Jacksonville in how this game fell apart. And honestly, it shouldn't have really been that close. They got some really good plays from Parker Washington in the punt return of the touchdown. But I give Houston some credit. I kind of feel like they're coming. I feel like they're waking up. Their defense is freaking awesome. And I feel like their offense is starting to come together. They're 4-5, but they feel like a dangerous 4-5.
I am resisting the toxic urge to ask a question about Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, I think you should ask it. We all watch the end of the game. These are sacks you can't take.
Brother, this is not just the end of the game.
It's all the time.
This is the body of work.
Quarterbacks in the league, man.
Yeah, this is. We for a coach to come in, they hired Liam Cohen with the intention of maximizing what we're paying Trevor Lawrence to be. No, is that an unfair statement?
No, I think it's true.
Okay. Well, then why do we have a passer rating that's closer to what we had our rookie season with Urban Meyer than we do in any of the 3 seasons we played with Doug Peterson?
I think when somebody tells you who they are, you should probably believe them.
We have a success rate on pass attempts that's 5% lower than what we did our rookie season with Urban Meyer. I am concerned.
Should be.
I'm concerned. Now, I don't know how much of it is a physical issue, but the last 4 weeks they've played Houston, the Raiders, the Rams, and the Seahawks. You know how many times Trevor Lawrence has been sacked in those 4 games?
Oh, I bet you a healthy amount. I think I've seen a dozen, I'm sure.
So he was sacked 5 times, which is equivalent to 18% of his dropbacks against Houston. 18%.
Healthy.
Sacked 1 time for 4 yards against the Raiders. Okay, I've seen what the rest of the Raiders defensive Max Crosby looks like. 7 times against the Rams for a 13% sack rate. 7 times against the Seahawks for a 14.5% sack rate. Last 4 weeks. It was also 10% sack rate the week before that against Kansas City.
It's tough. He's a tough watch sometimes, Kyle Crabbs.
Is he the Denny this week? We've had the questions for a while. Or do we want to save the Denny?
I think we have a good Denny this week that we'll get to.
You want to talk about the Denny?
Well, let's finish out the South because I think this Colts win was pretty big. Overseas.
Ugly, but.
Well, Jonathan Taylor, man.
Okay, ugly for the Falcons' defensive front 7 in that regard.
Yeah.
Ugly for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it's speaking of 7 sacks.
You almost.
I just said 7. He didn't get sacked 6 or 7. It was 7 times. There it is.
Yeah, big win for the Colts. They sweated out. We're at an untenable. Speaking of untenable quarterback situations, the Michael Penix play.
It's rough.
We need somebody to step up and help us make some plays. Shout out Darnell Mooney, 1 catch on 8 targets. I didn't realize he was targeted 8 times when we did the show yesterday. And I said, hey, Darnell Mooney could have helped out Michael Penix a few times. Penix has his own issues, but Mooney had a few plays to make. Yeah, 1 catch for 17 yards on 8 targets. We're not on the same page. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I'm concerned about Penix. I obviously, like, Jonathan Taylor is building an MVP case as a running back.
NFL Offensive Player of the Year.
Well, I think right now the MVP race is probably like Drake May, Matthew Stafford, and Jonathan Taylor.
I wouldn't argue if you had him third.
Oh, I'm going to always resist the running back, but I think it says a lot that I'm like, hey, it's kind of hard to ignore what he's been able to do. And like, I think Daniel Jones has shown some vulnerability the last couple of weeks, but Jonathan Taylor's been the guy that's been able to overcome that. He's balling, man.
You want to talk about taking sacks? Last 3 weeks, Daniel Jones, 21% sack rate against the Falcons.
Yeah.
Between 9 and 9.5% sack rate the 2 weeks before that against Pittsburgh and Tennessee. And of course, Pittsburgh really got after him with the turnovers. So Daniel Jones has more turnovers in the last 2 games than he did in the first 8 games of their season combined.
All right, we gotta get through a bunch here in the last segment, including a fired coach in our Denny Green. They are who we thought they were. Thing of the week. It's all next. Stick with us. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It just keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. I love getting in on these NFL prop bets. You better believe I had Devon Achane for the over on his combined yards from scrimmage. We hit that and some other good props this week. So check it out, folks. It makes every game more exciting. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
We had Turbo here.
Turbo
said, hey, I'm going to make a promise. We're not going to do what the Packers did and have the most predictable play call in our no huddle end of game sequence.
In a moment where I know we don't have time for a sidebar, I caught here's the sidebar. I don't know if it's an Instagram reel or something, but it was every team's cadence at the line of scrimmage where they went through every single. Boy, I had a good time watching that. A lot of white 80, Kyle. A lot of white 80. Right. I enjoyed the ones that weren't white 80, but that was a fun reel.
I have Pro Football Reference up, and we're going to go turbo through the games we have not touched.
All right.
Saints, Panthers.
Come on. That's a game you got to win at home. You're coming over
home.
Over a road win against the Packers. It's Tyler Shuck's second game. They trade away Rashid Shaheed, and you get beat by 10. Bryce Young ain't it, folks. He ain't it.
Yeah, this is what, speaking of impressive net passing yard performance, the second consecutive week in which the Panthers have had 102 net passing yards in a game. So
can't do it.
I think you could do the last 3 games the Panthers have played, and the Panthers have less net passing yards than Josh Allen had in the fourth quarter against the Ravens in week 1. The math is close. Shout out Tyler Shuck in his performance, getting a big win on the road, hitting a home run ball down the field. Kind of an interesting evaluation opportunity for a Saints team that is in this very muddy mess of teams with 2 or 3 wins right now. It's like it's going to get really interesting, kind of the bottom, the draft order race. Yeah. Speaking of teams with only a handful of wins, the New York Giants, with yet another masterclass on how to not close out winning a football game. The Bears storm back in brilliant fashion and end Brian Daboll's tenure as the head coach of the New York Giants.
You had a stat yesterday that was mind blowing. It was like they blew a 92+% win probability
3 times
three times this year
in like the final 5 minutes of games. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super disappointing. It's disappointing to see Jackson Dart continue to get evaluated for concussions. That's got to get cleaned up immediately. It's your brain, dude. Four times already this year. He started like, I don't know, 6 games or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But the Bears keep pulling it out, right? It's not always pretty, but they find a way. And I think Caleb Williams the last couple of weeks, making some really dynamic plays late in games with his arm, with his legs that should have Bears fans pretty excited.
Yeah, I think the fireable offense, the most fireable offense for Brian Daboll was opting to keep with the lead, keep a field goal on an offsides instead of going for the kill and a touchdown in the final or in the fourth quarter of the game from that 1.5 yard line.
Yep. Gets you fired.
Sure enough, weird. How many points you lose the game by? 4? Okay. Sure. So
the Denny Green, you are who we thought you were.
They are who we thought.
It's Russell Wilson coming back into that game and being everything Russell Wilson has been for the last 3 years.
The Ravens, the purple Team Purple Bowl, the Ravens continue their trajectory back to they now control their own destiny in the AFC North. They're a game behind Pittsburgh with 2 games left head-to-head to play. So that didn't take long.
No, they're going to do it. Yeah, they're going to do it.
Minnesota, it's just been a tough year, right? And I'm sure the vibes aren't super great watching Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones look like Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones.
Got to be both, right? Couldn't just be one.
Right. Wow. They got 9.
They got 9, baby.
Who played like a young quarterback against a team that made some defensive reinforcements. The Draymond Jones and Alohi Gilman acquisitions for Baltimore certainly feels like that's going to trend them in the right direction. Continue to do so.
Nice moves by DaCosta.
We talked about the Jets win. We talked about the Patriots win. All the points here in the 4 o'clock slate on Sunday.
Yeah.
44 points for Seattle, cruise control, 42 points for the Rams. They avenged their home loss to the 49ers earlier in the year. 44 points for Detroit in just absolutely waxing what is left of the Washington Commanders this season.
How cool was Dan Campbell takes control of the play calling, and all of a sudden, like, elements of their offenses just weren't clicking, like Jamison Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. They're clicking in a big way. And I don't know, man, Dan, I respect him so much. I think people got goofy thinking that he's like just this meathead, rah-rah head coach. He's a smart man. He's a good football coach that knows scheme and knows X's and O's. Right.
Too.
Right. Like, just because he's, the way that he is doesn't mean he's an idiot. And I loved it, man. You see the one play call that he made? He pumps his fist right after, like he just knows they're going to score a touchdown. Yep. Man, give me Dan Campbell all day long, man. I love that guy.
If
Big win, obviously. Washington's got nothing, dude. They got nothing.
If you were starting a program from scratch,
it's Dan Campbell, man.
Dan's your choice, right? Because it's the play calling and the aggressiveness with the player relation element.
Oh, it's unparalleled.
And the offensive background, right?
He's special coach.
Speaking of special, what Seattle is doing right now in most phases, they get 2 defensive touchdowns in this game.
By DeMarcus Lawrence?
Fantasy, too.
Oh, no. He had like 2 in the first 20 minutes of the game.
I still won, but
nice job.
I was sweating it there for a bit. It helps when I have the Sam Darnold JSN stack on my team as well, which is as good of a connection as we've seen from anybody in the league. They wasted no time in this game, and then it was really cruise control from there, right? It was
You're up 28-0, man. Like, just don't screw that up,
5-0.
30. Well, yeah, it's 35. Yeah.
So, Jacoby Brissett, the speed of the Seattle defense against a non-mobile quarterback was what was glaring to me throughout the course of that game. Was just the affirmation of
game script's impossible, dude.
Swarm to the football, and you're down two scores. You're getting outscored 14-0 by Seattle's defense in the first quarter. Like a nightmare start for them.
Yeah, game script when one team's going to be one-dimensional. It's with that defense, game over. See ya.
Dude, we get Seahawks at Rams this week.
That's glorious. What time's that at? Don't tell me.
At 4:00.
I got to deal with Bills, Bucks, and then while I'm doing post game, that's going to be going on.
I got the 9:30.
Yeah, it's a good week to get the 9:30 game. Yeah, couldn't be me.
I'm fired up.
Yeah,
I am over the moon.
You get to watch Bills, Bucks, Chargers, Jaguars, and the 1:00 slate.
I am
you
watching
get Chiefs, Broncos,
Chargers, Jaguars. The Jaguars are on my list.
Okay,
I invested in you guys. I picked you.
Oh, they're gonna let you down, man.
They are. They sure are. Speaking of letting me down, shout out Green Bay. I gave you the whole speech at the end of the show last Thursday. I said, I'm picking the Packers. I don't want to hear jack from you guys ever. And what'd you do? You scored 7 points. We look like we'd never played offensive football before in our lives. We take more than one cowardly approach to, I think, game management in that game. And I get it. You're playing close. It's close to the vest game. It's 3-0 halfway through the fourth quarter. LaFleur opts to punt. The Eagles in 3 plays go down and score a touchdown. They hit 2 explosive plays. One's on a check down to Saquon Barkley for a big catch and run. Carrington Valentine can't tackle him in the flat. Everybody and their mother on the Philadelphia sideline and on the field knew when you win tempo with 4th and 1 near midfield in the final 2 minutes, you were running inside zone. Moro Ojomo's got a big flashing neon sign. And you can hear him on the microphone during the broadcast.
Inside zone
this way. Inside zone this way. So that's why you see Josh Jacobs. He comes out of the mesh point and he makes a U-turn. He makes a hard right in Albuquerque because he's like, they know it's coming. Jordan snapped the ball and gave it to me anyway. I got to figure out what's happening here. A mess. A mess. Now, am I a little surprised to see the guy who does the athletic stuff for Green Bay talk about how Matt LaFleur's coaching for his job?
Oh, no.
I was told he was the greatest coach in the history of mankind. So I'm a little confused what happened here.
I don't know, man. So it's tough. It's tough when you don't have your best pass catcher, right? Everybody eats offense, right?
Tucker Kraft is the offense, it turns out.
Right. Just give him the ball. He goes and
picking Matthew Golden. So you want to be fair. Romeo Doubs gets banged up in this game. So I get it. But man, this was a game that you had every opportunity to make the plays and win. We got guys lined up wrong. We're going 6 offensive linemen and we're incorrectly covering up the declared eligible. And it takes an explosive play off it's just like, come on, guys. Really goofy down the stretch performance for Green Bay in a lot of ways. And I did not think Jordan Love played particularly well. Is he like the new gold standard of like drives you nuts with how inconsistent he is on a week over week?
Yeah, the highs are really special, right? From Jordan Love.
Yeah,
they really are. Yeah.
And this is, I think, the first time in like many years the Packers have lost back-to-back home games because they lost to Panthers last week.
The Panthers.
Chargers beat the Steelers. I know we got to be quick here.
Steelers offense is tough sometimes, man.
Very DK Metcalf explosive play reliant, it feels like. So a couple teams that were rumored to be looking for the wide receivers at the deadline. Pittsburgh was one. They don't get any deals done. Probably would have benefited from doing so. But that is going to do it for us here today on Locked On NFL Scouting. Here's hoping the tech works for us here today. Kyle Crabbs, Joe Marino, we appreciate you. We'll talk to you all again tomorrow. Come back and see us again.